I'm Wendy Lawrence. My husband and I travel part of the year in an RV, about 6 months out of the year. This is Ralph, my new guide. So he will be very helpful when I want to go hiking without the husband or even with the husband. And we have a house in Colorado that we call home when we're there. I have a hereditary eye disease, retinitis pigmentosa. And my dad was diagnosed when I was in my 20s. I was in the Army was ready to go to the Monterey Language Institute to study to be an interpreter, and they said did a physical, said you have a vision problem. Does anybody in your family have this? And I said, well, my dad has it, and they said, well, lucky you have it too. So I was medically discharged from the Army, went to school, got a bachelor's in accounting and then a master's in accounting, and then my husband went to work for the National Park Service, so I just followed him around. So it's progressive, and it finally got to the point I said I have to do something about it. So I used accounting. I went to, my husband talked to me, he says, you need to go to the VA. You need to go to the VA and they'll give you some training. And I said, I don't need to go to the VA, I'm fine. He says, you're blind. I said, I'm not blind, I'm not. And at that point I had less than 10-degree field of vision. And said, okay, I'll go to the VA, but I'm not gonna do anything. Got to the VA and they said, we need to do a quick physical. And the doctor said, yeah, you've got about 9-degree field of vision. She says, you're blind. I said, I'm not blind. She says, we'll give you training for being blind. I'm not blind. And it was another year before I actually said, well, okay, I'm blind, I'll go. Went off to training in Tucson, Arizona. And I thought it was gonna be, I said, I'm gonna go in, they're gonna hand me a cane, I'll be there for 2-3 days, they'll send me home. I was there for 4 weeks. You know, the VA had said a guide dog would be good, and I thought, I don't like using the cane. I just don't, I'm a dog person, and I thought, I got tired of waiting for my husband if I wanted to go somewhere. We used to joke, my grandmother had the same eye disease, and we used to all joke about the granny shuffle, because she never picked her feet up, she just shuffled along. And I said, I'm not gonna do the granny shuffle. And even with the cane, I found myself doing the granny shuffle. And I thought, with a dog, I won't be doing the granny shuffle anymore. So the freedom and going for walks, I would walk along, my head was always down looking at my feet. You know, the little bit of vision I had, and I was never, now the walks we've done, I'm out and I'm looking around and actually seeing some things because he's taken me where I need to go. And like I said, the fact that I don't have to wait for my husband to take me somewhere, and it's amazing. It's really amazing. It's like, and they're so smart. They are so smart. Oh, I cried. They brought it. They were joking. We were joking about different dogs with, you know, their problems in there. And they told us what dogs we were going to get. She says, you're getting a yellow lab, Ralph. She says he's missing one ear, and he's had his tail bobbed up, and I'm going, huh? And so when I actually saw him, I was very delighted. I knew she was, but it was so. He's a beautiful dog. Beautiful dog, smart dog. It's a nice small town, so walking around in the town where we are in Cortez when we're home, it was the right size of town. It wasn't a big city, so that will be very helpful. Getting around, ignoring the distractions, so that was a nice little town. We did a lot of street crossings, went through stores, sat there at Panera, while the other ones were out. So we did a lot of stuff. The last 2 weeks, just like the getting out by myself, the freedom, knowing that he's there with me to keep me walking the direction I'm supposed to stop when we need to stop. And it's a wonderful feeling, it's a wonderful organization to do this, to help us gain our independence back, instead of being stuck inside because you're afraid to go out. So it's been wonderful.